Sketchy, how did you like the new episode?
Well, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was a pretty good episode, in my opinion.
No. Predictable.
You would say that.
Predictable.
Yeah, Bones, I mean, come on.
Come on, it was a decent episode.
Russian Bones! Final
What?
draft! Sketchy sounds!
Is that the DeLorean?
Dr. Emmett Brown?
Christopher Lloyd?
Quiet, you! I'm in character! You jumped into Pony too late! You only started with the 4th generation! There was an entire 3.5 generations before that! We don't talk about the 3.5 generation, though. Now listen to me! You have to go back to Generation 1, 1984, and review Rescue at Midnight Castle, the pilot! We have to go back to 1984!
How are we gonna fit into that thing?
Yeah, how are we supposed to fit in that?
It doesn't exactly look like a 4-seater, Doc. Quiet, you! We don't worry about such things. Besides, I've brought all the tools I'll need to get you 3 into this vehicle. Okay, I guess that means that we're going, whether we like it or not. Everybody, into the DeLorean!
Well, here we are.
1984, apparently.
It doesn't really look much different. Cars look a little boxier, though. Look, you're not here for sightseeing. You're here to do a review.
Fine.
Well, what's the plan then? You got this all thought out, Doc? What the hell do you mean thought out? I thought you would all have an idea of what to do once we got here.
Is this gonna save our families or something?
Not really. It's just so that you're covering all your bases. Besides, I'm pretty sure the fan base wants to see you suffer at some point.
Yeah, I think that might be the case.
That's a fairly logical assumption, I suppose.
Anyway, I'll leave you all to your devices. Toodaloo!
So he's just gonna leave us here? Oh, hey guys, look, a VCR. Wow, I've not seen one of these in a while.
Ooh, Betamax.
Okay, so I guess we're just gonna pop this in and watch the video.
I guess that's what we gotta do.
Alrighty then.
Here we go.
It appears we have a slight technical issue. We cannot include the actual episode in our video due to copyright. So there are some simple instructions we'll provide you on how to watch the video and listen to this riff simultaneously. Now don't do this just yet, but wait until I finish the entire explanation. Click the link included with this video to open the companion video we've already found on YouTube, uploaded by somebody else. As soon as it loads, the video will start playing. Let it play for a few seconds, and then pause it. Alright, I'll give you a few seconds. Go ahead and do this now. Now, here's where it gets complicated. Drag the video marker back to the very beginning of the video so it says all zeros for the current time. I'll give you a few seconds to do this as well. Now, you should have a video set at 0 seconds, but already partially loaded and buffered, ready to go. If this is correct, you're ready. If not, go back to the beginning of the explanation and try again. Now, when I say go, click the play button on the video one final time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
A rainbow! And flying Pegasi. And rainbows are apparently solid and act like slides. This is wonderful.
Brought to you by the magic of friendship.
I guess friendship wasn't magic yet.
Where did they get the pink bricks for that? Gravity...
I hadn't finished my lather yet.
I don't care.
My God, Sandy Duncan.
And Ronnie Howard is Little Timmy.
All the stars of the 70s, in the 80s. Because roller skates on a pony.
And then Twilight was a springboard. Time to wink out.
I were a fish.
I wish it was 1990 already. Firefly, you're too dangerous.
Strike!
Applesauce, anyone? Poor Applejack.
Well, that's saucy. Oh hi, let me cover you in sauce.
Oh my. Shipping.
It's such a peaceful day.
Only the ones who are worth anything can.
Some little ponies are born to look like hippopotamuses.
By which I mean you'll have no unique talents.
And then Dream Valley was Britain.
Oh no, we've angered nature!
The what? Oh, the dragons.
It's something that's not a horse.
Fear my epic mount!
Well, that's what you get for not being able to fly.
Maybe I can take shelter in one of those eggshell trees!
Soon, every pony will be a mid-level corporate manager.
Well, you sure need it.
There's weather out there.
What is that, your catchphrase? Dum-da-dum.
Meanwhile, on the set borrowed from Sleeping Beauty...
I want to be a bad guy too.
I'll get you next time, Cutlet.
No, don't think I... Oh, right, yeah, okay, maybe I have.
Four shall be the number of the ponies, and the number of the ponies shall be 4.
Not 3, not 5.
I kill you!
It's rhythm time.
You will also prepare a pair of pants, and you will wear them.
Curse this weather vane.
That landing turned out well.
That girl must be terribly strong to be able to haul up a pony.
And she's come to terms with it. And all that weather happened. Well, now she can't fly. Poor TJ. TJ can't talk.
Oh no, a pony slaver! I'm in Fallout Equestria!
The Cliffs of Dover.
For me to throw myself to my death.
Oh, she knows how to ride.
We ride bareback.
You're also a target demographic.
And crow!
You're just so enjoyably clueless.
Oh no, the music's swelling! Song incoming!
This was, of course, the days before autotune.
Jane, stop this crazy thing!
Pegasus Magic fail!
Firefly, you fail.
Wow.
They've been praying to Celestia.
Why is she moving her legs? I just noticed. Blub, 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 blub. And then the clouds were glue.
Extreme close-up! Whoa!
This is the part where she crashes into the nearest well.
Oh look, she's back and she brought a strange creature with her. Is that Garfield? I think that was Garfield.
Oh god!
Oh no, we're being attacked by stock footage!
And once again, these creatures absolutely suck at getting a grip on anything with their teeth.
This is just not Megan's day. All she wanted to do was brush TJ, and what does she get? Abducted by ponies and then by dragons.
Do barrel roll!
Better she die from the fall than be taken by the enemy!
I thought you said you could fly!
Don't worry, Miss Lane, I've got you.
Let me pose menacingly. Dun 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 dun. Biff! Pow!
And don't think saving my useless life changes that!
That or stupid. You wouldn't like me when I'm mad.
We'll save them from the dangers of communism.
Meanwhile, at the headquarters of the Legion of Doom... I'd kill you!
I didn't want a cutie mark crusader. Behold the face of evil!
Power of Darkness is badass.
Tirac casts Baleful Polymorph!
What? Ponies are evolving! Well, offhand, I'd say they've been turned into terrible monsters. Oink.
You gotta have wide doors like that so he can fit his head through. With those horns and all.
Wait, the who? The who?
Oh, Applejack, don't do it. It's a bridge. You can't get across it. Don't do it, Applejack.
I wish I had hands!
And then Applejack failed her dexterity roll.
Failure to cross bridges. A fatal flaw.
Oh boy.
Not only that, you land in a frickin' scallop. That's it. They were never heard from again.
Cue music number. Yay!
Oh god.
I agree, Applejack. Whoa, indeed.
Choreography by John Travolta.
So that's why they say not to drink the water.
Where did they get those oars? Hi! Well, we are now. Oh, whoa! I'll have a human and a pony on the rocks.
Apparently sea ponies come from scallops.
First and only synchronized swimming rescue service.
What is this? Bubble Bubble?
No, you can't go to the surface yet. We need to play with you in bubbles first.
But they will only help you by doing a musical number.
Where are you guys going? Come back. And they're completely dry.
It was like taking drugs.
On this seashell-shaped cellular telephone. That wolf who gave us directions had an honest face.
I go through mysterious forests all the time.
Where is that light coming from?
Behold, it the mushroom kingdom.
It's a land of hallucinogens.
What the hell?
What?
Exposition ahoy!
Which I just happen to know that he has.
I think the mood chick just has no idea where he is at any time.
Why does he look so happy about not knowing where his stuff is?
A plot device!
His ears are part of his hat.
And there's Roger Rabbit.
Mushrooms do not work that way.
Music swelling, song incoming!
Uh-oh.
Don't mind me, I'm just gonna crash through everything. Because you need 7,000 pots and pans. This would give Twilight an absolute, heart attack.
Why is all his furniture bigger than him?
No organization. Trash cans inside of trash cans.
Hey, Mr. Moochick, Roger Rabbit's trying to get your attention.
After this film, the Moochick led a pretty difficult life. Spent 5 years at Rikers, for armed robbery.
And again, his ears are part of his hat. That is a smelly rabbit, apparently.
I forgot there's another room full of crab.
X marks the spot, so let's not actually dig there. Watch me move my butt.
That's a rabbit. Oh, I guess I'm worthless.
Here you go, Mr. Moochick. I kept this safe for you.
It's not.
And it looks like one color.
Get off my land!
Oh man, I need my fix. Have fun with Mr. Pryor and all the freebasing.
Taking bookings now for wedding receptions and wakes.
Oh no! We're flying ponies and we can't cross a chasm. Oh, it didn't skip.
Have some patience. Wow, that was fast.
They said they'd help, just not you, Applejack.
Plot convenience.
Pop aboard what? Where did you get that? And my goodness, those are strong little sea ponies. That's 3 of them pulling how many of those?
I've got your nose.
How did they know about that?
We built this castle. Oh, and they didn't even pay their fare.
They never do.
I've told you before, I'm not Jabba.
Khan!
Scorpion smash!
Keys are for wimps.
And that's when my chariot turns back. Spanish guitar playing.
It's amazing.
That is an impressively stealthy lumbering minion.
Hey, listen. Oh crap.
That didn't work last time. You should have realized it wouldn't work this time either.
Ooh, Applejack's badass now.
Stop! Scorpion time! Scorpion used to be a pro wrestler.
We ran to the roof despite being on the ground floor previously.
Go back to where he is. Oh, he's got his chariot. For I am Nightmare Moon, apparently.
Curse your unexpected but inevitable betrayal, Scorpion!
Scorpion, you brave, brave, brave baboon.
That was a terribly conveniently placed haystack. The little girl and the pony will save the day.
Do a barrel roll!
Good of you to wave that about where it could easily be smacked out of your hand.
Foiled by the double loop.
I know your name for some reason.
Hut, hut, hut! Wow, this looks familiar.
Better start wishing.
Hacks! I call hacks!
I wish I only had to say it once.
Unicorn hacks!
An entire sky, and she manages to go straight into the one obstacle.
Go planet!
Maybe the Moochik was on drugs.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was. It can.
Man.
Well. things considered, I have to say, Nightmare Moon got off pretty darned easily.
Now I know why they're afraid of weather, jeesh.
And that was just the rainbow. It was just a giant tree?
Scorpan was Lord British all along!
Thanks for pointing out the obvious, Spike.
And I've always had this annoying voice.
Confound this butterfly allergy!
Congratulations, you found your special talent. We're all going to laugh at you now.
Haha! We totally killed that T-Rex guy!
You're still washing your hair?
My Little Pony, more directors than a feature film. We had to shift the text left to fit all the names of the voices, too. Do you think Ford Kinder and Spencer Micklin regret writing this theme song?
Megan had to go through about 4 years of therapy to get over that ordeal.
It's hilarious how few women were involved with this production.
Bye, Firefly. Well, that honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
It was bearable. You know, it was, yeah, exactly what you said. Not as bad as you might have thought.
Well, for a villain, I mean, T-Rex seemed to be quite intimidating and actually rather scary. I wouldn't have suspected that they'd have had quite a frightening and outright evil villain in something that was targeted at young girls. I mean, because he outright threatens to have Spike's head chopped off.
He does, actually, yeah, and he certainly has a very, very intimidating voice as well. I mean, that was perfect.
Now, did this come out before or after, was it the movie Legend? That's what I'm wondering, because he had a similar, shall we say, cranial structure to a certain villain in that movie.
Although Lord Darkness has much, much more awesome horns, and played by Tim Curry, so he's quite much more he's the better devil, so to speak.
Yeah, where was Tim Curry in this? I could have stood for some Tim Curry.
Sounds like you want a kind of meal at a restaurant. I'll order the Tim Curry.
Yeah, the Tim Curry you can eat.
So getting back to the show, I mean, the characters were, well, to say the least, very two-dimensional.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I couldn't really tell the difference between the different ponies besides their color.
And their voice, to some extent.
Yeah.
Well, and kind of like how I pointed out in the riff anyways, that there was some minor continuity issues, like Spike knowing Bowtie's name without ever actually being introduced, and some stuff like that. But I think it was mostly just because they had to work in 22 minutes, only a 22-minute time frame. And I gotta say that, you know, for only having 22 minutes to work with, it was pretty decently paced and pretty decently scripted and written.
They got 3 songs in.
In all honesty, and you know I say that phrase a lot, but I think that if this had come out in the present day, in our time, that it would have been given a proper 2-part send-off and would have had, you know, twice as much time to work with. You know, 2 22-minute episodes would have given it twice as much.
Kind of like what happened with the current generation.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think it would have easily been made into a 2-parter, just like the pilot for Friendship is Magic and the season 2, the beginning of season 2 with Discord. Had it gotten that type of treatment here in 1984, I think that it would have actually had a lot of stuff going for it. I mean, just with the 22 minutes it had, I mean, it already turned out a lot better than I expected, and it's actually got a heck of a lot more going for it than even some of the current generation's villains. I mean, T-Rex is outright blatantly evil. He's got that rainbow of darkness. He kidnaps and then transforms ponies into these monstrous beasts.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I thought the most rewarding part about watching this, though, was just seeing where a lot of the ideas in G4 came from. I mean, you get to see Spike, you get to hear the opening theme music, which is clearly an inspiration for Daniel Ingram's incarnation of it.
And you get to see Twilight's mother.
You get to see Twilight's mother, and you get to see ponies on roller skates.
And the original Applejack.
And that pink castle, which was certainly colored that way for the sake of selling the playhouse.
Also, of course, the idea of using a rainbow to destroy a villain. That's, you know, there's shades of that once again. And
yeah, because, I mean, they outright disintegrated him.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, the whole idea of using a rainbow to defeat the villain is repeated again in the G4 pilot.
It's true.
True, but it's more of a purification process. We didn't see Nightmare Moon being carried off in a swirling tornado, never to be seen again because she's been disintegrated by the goodness.
He got off pretty darn lightly.
The very end thing with the very, very convenient piece of plot wherein after the Rainbow of Light is used to destroy Tirak, and the land begins to turn back to normal, and all of his minions turn back to what they used to be, you know, the Stratodons becoming butterflies, and the ogres becoming blue jays, and then Scorpan is revealed to be a prince. Now, his appearance, okay, I'm just gonna say it outright, just like I said before, that I am now fully of the belief that this is Cesaria and Scorpan is Lord British. This is the way that I am going to cope with the fact that they totally pulled that out of nowhere. Scorpan just happened to be the prince of this Dominion before Tirak came along. And you know what? That kind of ruins Scorpan's character as I originally started to look at him, because it seemed more like he was a beast man, but he's not evil, which goes to say that, you know, maybe not everybody can be judged by their cover, and people can have a conscience or a heart despite their outwards physical appearance or their upbringing. So when he became good and started freeing the ponies and stuff like that, and we see his relationship with the baby dragon Spike, I felt that it was kind of like, oh, that's character development. And then wham, right at the end of the episode, it's like, oh, he wasn't really a beast man. He used to rule this kingdom. So I just say, you know what? He's Lord British. Tirak came in and transformed him into a beast man and turned all of Sosaria into his dominion.
Oh, Bones, you and your modern sensibilities. This is 1984. It's all about image, baby. It's all about image.
And note that I do say Sosaria rather than Britannia, because knowing Lord British, he wouldn't let any sapient creatures other than humans go free. Not post number 4, I think it was, or 3.
There is something else I have to talk about here, because in about 20 or so years' time, it's going to be something I'm going to be singing over and over.
Yeah.
That Sea Pony song.
The Sea Pony song.
Oh my gosh, that Sea Pony song.
We all knew it was out there. We had seen the video, but we hadn't seen it in context, had we?
Indeed. And speaking as someone, though, I mean, who, you know, so many years down the line is going to be absolutely enjoying the songs that are in G4, I have to say that I can see that there was at least a tradition of making really, really catchy songs even as far back as now. And that makes me rather happy that, you know, even back then, there were the beginnings of making some absolutely excellent, catchy tunes. And of course, you know, some people hate that song. Some people are like, oh my gosh, that song is just like, arg, get it out of my head. And yet there are others that love it. I have to say, as guilty a pleasure is, I really do love that song.
Oh, so do I. And, you know, tunes back then were just as marketable as the toys more often than not. You'd get the infomercials that would pop up on TV for 2 cassettes and 2 CDs or whatever of whatever music. And when it came to musical shows, musical movies, television, that sort of thing, that stuff was just as marketable as the plastic toys were. So they could easily come up with songs for, you know, a couple of pilot movies and, you know, maybe 2 songs an episode or 1 song an episode or whatever, compile it all onto a big soundtrack on a cassette or a pair of cassettes and sell it for, you know, 2 easy payments of $9.95 or $19.95 on an infomercial.
You see, you know what you've reminded me now by mentioning things that got put on cassette? Who's a silly pony? Who's a silly pony? Who is you is Applejack?
Which I regret wasn't involved in the pilot, in all honesty.
I don't regret that at all.
Interesting little bit about that particular song, the Who's a Silly Pony one. That one was only released in Britain.
That's funny. You know,
the ponies got a lot more love in the UK than they really did in the US. They lasted for a much longer time over in the UK and Europe. They
did indeed. I mean, I certainly remember still seeing the toys coming out for them, even when I was well out of school. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, it's kind of weird being here in 1984 because this is the year I was born, so...
Yeah, same here.
It's a little weird being here, but it's like, you know, there were still toys coming out for this stuff long after I had gotten all the way through school and finished school. You know, I'd kind of look around and be like, this franchise is still running.
This is where it all began.
'Tis indeed.
I won't even be born for 4 more years. And speaking on that, it's actually more like 4 years and a few months.
What I thought was interesting in this show, or at least this version of the show, was just how much more blatant the marketing aspects were. I mean, the main character is a girl named Megan, who's basically the target demographic. Everything is made to look like a toy, or is sparkly or pink. I mean, the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking, okay, they're going to sell that as a play set. Okay, they're going to sell that as a play set or as a coloring book, you know?
Well, and the only thing that I have to really comment on, too, is Megan was wholly unnecessary. She was there solely so that there would be a human for the little girls watching the show to basically, you know, put themselves in the shoes of. She was there for the audience as an audience surrogate, but she really didn't do anything of note. I mean, she failed to really do anything against Scorpan when Scorpan came back the second time to abduct ponies. She jumped in after Applejack, but I mean, I'm pretty certain the Sea Ponies would have saved Applejack regardless of if Megan had been there or not.
I don't know about that. It was Applejack.
See, here's the thing. As far as I could see, and I made this point at one point when we were just chatting about this before, but it's been pointed out by at least one of the other EFR staff members that, somewhat ironically, the only human in this essentially plays pack mule for the ponies by carrying along the rainbow.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Oh, and speaking of the piece of rainbow, the Moo Chick.
You know,
the Moo Chick.
I felt that the Moo Chick was kind of almost a stolen character from other shows. Like, his place, his magical knowledge, it all felt to me reminiscent of Merlin in The Sword and the Stone.
Well, certainly he borrowed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, his Roger Rabbit little sidekick and his house being the way it was. Well, firstly, you know, of course you comment on the fact that, like, it's completely and totally messy and he's got to move everything around, which is very reminiscent of Merlin in The Sword of the Stone. But here's the real question. Here's the real question is, why is all of the furniture in his house made for, like, a giant? Because clearly he doesn't use more than half of the stuff in there because he's the size of a freaking mite by comparison.
He's a hoarder. He needs stuff. He's materialistic.
And his ears are part of his hat.
I think he might have offed a giant and just kind of moved into the giant's house.
Well, it was the 80s, or it is the 80s. I mean, it's a very materialistic time.
It is.
Speaking of time, how are we going to get back 2 hours?